French and living in Geneva. My film is called Anabase, and yeah, it's a film that happens in Geneva, which is not the city I'm from, but I did my studies there, so I spent like some time in the city, and I had enough time to discover it and understand it and ask questions about it. And this film like started from my perception of this city, which is kind of cold and empty and very strict in a way. Like there's a lot of banks and security guards and stuff like this. And yeah, at the beginning, I just wanted to like make some kind of a portrait of this city and like bringing different stories, which is like the stories are mixed between fictions and documentary stuff that I just put into this set, which is Geneva. And yeah, it's kind of a mosaical portrait of it.
That's great. I really like the simulation in your film. I think it's a brilliant moment. I don't know if you could talk a little bit about it.
Well, actually, yeah, it really came from the start. I mean, like I wanted to make a film that happened in Geneva, so which showcase some of the stuff I noticed about the city, and giving this feeling of like kind of fakeness, like the city with very strong walls but nothing inside of it. Like the main neighborhood in which we shot, it's like only Rothschild banks, and it's always empty, etc. And yeah, but the simulation, it was like one of the first ideas, and it's like it came from like in the States, they do a lot of those simulation in universities because there's been like so much shooting that they do reenactment of shooting attacks, and it's very, very like hard, very violent, and they do this with like university but also like very young kids sometimes. And you really have like this like in the film, like these people like laying down in fake blood, like you have fake shooter extra but with like how do you say, fake guns but that shoot real. The cops come, like there's always like the intervention of like army or stuff like this in the end, and it is very violent. And I really wanted to like, I don't know, for me this kind of event like it's really like fits the film, which is about like simulation of strength, of security, extra, but it's just like even more how do you say, bad for the people. I don't think it brings like good reflexes, this kind of stuff, you know. And then I was like wondering, okay, so it's very interesting, but it doesn't really fit into like this Switzerland context. And actually, I did a lot of research on like the army extra here, and you do have this kind of exercises like in the United, what do you say, ONU, like the United Nations offices in Geneva. Yeah, so this does exist, and I just like put it in a bank to be able to like mix all of these elements together. Yeah, and so I don't explain it so much in the film. Like, it just happens like this because I didn't want this to be the subject. It's just like one of the stuff that, how do you say, that is imposed on the characters. So yeah, that's kind of it. And also I realized this kind of game, which is actually like more violent than showing the real one, because you can have the, I don't know, like the after the event, like the life just goes back as normal, you know. There's nothing happening really in the end. So,
yeah. No, I think it's brilliant. I really liked it. Yeah. Yeah. There's another element that it's quite powerful in your short film, that it's the one about the moons.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that idea and combining it with the other one.
Yeah, well, the moons. Well, I don't know. I really like this kind of signs that come from the sky. I don't know. I kind of create this very suffocating moment for people extra, and they kind of try to find an escape in the sky. You know, like kind of in this possibility, which is, I don't know, this some kind of pureness, or like some kind of possibility to escape in the sky, we could say. And like these two moons is kind of this magical event that could mean like the end of the world. I don't know, like some kind of event that will change everything, but in the end nothing happens. And I don't know, I'm really like into like these Christian images, you know, when you have like this kind of salvations that come from the sky. But I don't know there was a lot of hesitation on like what will happen in the end in the moon with the moons. Like it could be like some kind of end or something, but I decided not to do anything with them. Like they just cross and nothing happens. And I guess I wanted to show like some kind of fatalism, like some kind of despair. Like we could say like the world that has been built over like the last century is this, and there's no escape from it. Like there's no like revolt in the film. There's no like the characters are not gonna change anything, and even from the sky there will not be any solution to escape. So yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, it's true that as well, at least it was an impression for me that you somehow relate that crossing of the moons with the crossing of the two protagonist characters.
Yeah, that's my romantic side.
Okay.
But it was also yeah, it's kind of useful also in the end, you know.
Yeah.
The editing room extra, we're like, okay, we're gonna this. But yeah, because you have got these two like lonely souls, like two stars alone in the night.
Yeah.
There's almost nobody else.
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, so now I would like to ask you about your film school.
Well, you know, I come from France, and in France you get like few public schools which are really competitive and which are kind of not is very strict in a way. And what attracted to me with La Aide, it was like it's got a very like, especially before it had a very like strong experimental side or essayistic side extra. And during school we were doing a lot of stuff about like going, it was called like cinema du réel, cinema of the real, we could say. This kind of vanished a bit, but there were like a lot of work which was done, which was about making films with the people we met, like real people, extra, like which I don't completely do, but I guess I have like I don't really want to work with real actors, stuff like this. Try to work with non-actors, and I don't know, this kind of stuff. I really had time to experiment this in school, which is good about La Aide, I guess, is like we do a lot of stuff. Like you do a lot of small films extra, which is also not good. Is that sometimes you don't really have time to go deeply into the projects because you have too much. And I guess every school a bit like this. Yeah, it's kind of it. No, but I think like it has like it has a lot of freedom. It's in the art school also, so you get like mixed with people who do like art, which is like really another way of thinking about like cinema or video, etc. So this is good to have this mix.
And the final question, as I told you before, is what's cinema for you?
What is cinema for me? It's a good question. Well, I guess I used to be like I'm still a very big cinephile, so I guess like cinema for me it's really about like emotion that you can feel, about like sensation. I know like I really like very strong narrative films, but most of the time when I do a film, even if I don't expect it, it will be like it will be more about sensations and narration that come from emotion. But for me, this is like kind of the two main stuff that we try to reach, like having a true emotion and a true sensation, I guess. And I did my research degree in school on presence. I would say presence, like
presence, yeah.
And I feel like for me, it's kind of what touches me most in cinema is like this moment when you're facing like true presence in the film. And this really like for me, it's the most touching moment. Yeah. I don't know, we could speak about like what cinema can say extra, but I think it's more about like, this small feeling that you can get like only in one shot or one sequence in a film, that what matters the most, I guess.